Welcome back, and that was it fell apart in part 3 and 4, and then there was a technical difficulty in part 4, and I won't ever take 3 hours. Okay, I can't say never. That's the first chance it's gonna go south, and it'll take 4 hours. I'm going to try to add comments in kind of that formula, but cleaner. As I listened to it, I realized I trailed off a lot. Now, if you were told you were in the comments and then know what your comment was, that I dropped the link in, it probably made sense. I realize that I can't read and talk. I have to pause a little more, but the pausing didn't seem that irritating. So, I think by tomorrow morning we will have As the Channel Churns up to speed, but maybe not every day. The comments will become a daily thing. I instead of falling behind, I'd like to integrate it into the channel, and then I'd like to see legitimately, because it's not a challenge. The reward is whatever you can get out of it. So there's no temptation. I can't offer you anything more than participation. And I will participate to the best of my ability. Yeah, there you go. I don't want to pitch any more than that. And this is literally my reward. So for every moment it seemed like Rollen might not care, I've been waiting for this for a long time. For my sis, I wish my honey bunny was with me, but I can always learn where to keep my mouth shut and react to what my honey sees. So we can set her up for the future and see if I have any self-control. Let's go.
He's been around.
Well, wait. 3 hours. It's been on play all night. I don't even have nothing set up. It was comments, and more comments.
So long, he's almost part of the family.
Uh-oh.
Many.
Hi, it's Reaction Rants and Rabbit Holes. I am Rollen Green, and this is John Farnham's farewell tour through Australia's heartland. 60 minutes Australia exclusive. If I am not mistaken, this is for Ange and I, for our Australian sister, with love and respect. And not because now I can actually learn my own details instead of just getting them in. Well, let's see what our takeaway is.
He's been around so long, he's almost part of the family. Many of us have grown up with him, always there, the perennial king of pop, but not for much longer. John Farnham's about to call it a day, and he's saying goodbye in true Farnham style. A massive farewell tour through Australia's heartland, a tour called The Last Time. And what a swan song it is. As you'll see, there are no Learjets and limos, it's all big rigs and big tops. The king of pops, now king of the road.
See, there's the difference. For anyone who sits through my rambling, trust, I know what I say about trust me, but trust me, if I could write for 60 minutes, I'd go write for 60 minutes. That's a very nice intro. All the smooth parts, I like it. And I'm just giving props to 60 Minutes in the organization, and they have been around my whole life, so nothing but respect. Okay, you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's the John element that matters the most. So.
From Kalgoorlie.
Before we go, come on, because I've been down the road long enough. Once again, When you exist at the pinnacle, the love that interacts between you and the fans is palpable, measurable. You can see it if you know what to look for. If you're completely tinfoil hat crazy like old Rollen, it's like the Matrix, and you see nothing but code, and it's like lines of love and care between those people sitting in that audience and that entertainer. That's been visible since the beginning. Now, having an entire nation up and other parts of the world, but having an entire, I mean, that whole area know what you are and ooze it out towards you on stage. Come on. It's gotta be good for the soul. Or internal vibration and frequency, whichever one you want to call it.
To cans, John Farnham is packing them in to say good night and goodbye. This time for the last time.
Okay, when was this? Really? Now, took place in 2003, before I talk out my and say 2020 and I get yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at. But I'm not that thin-skinned, so really, I am sometimes really loose with that. The pause is now a valuable friend. Wow, pause is valuable. And that search turned up, it didn't help me as much as I thought, because I couldn't really figure it out. Because now, and I mean this with respect, this is probably why some people don't like me. So it's a love me or hate me moment. Oh, but it sounds like John and Kiss had a similar formula on farewell tours. So I don't know if this was his last ever. Probably not, because it looks like it just, when he came back for that one big event, was not a tour, of course. I don't mean tour. I don't know. Maybe this was his last ever tour. My point being, one of the stories that comes up in my search right off the top is cute, cheeky, maybe. One of John Farnham's farewell tours will be his last. Look, it wasn't meant to be his last tour all those years ago. He cleverly marketed a song called The Last Time. That did not reference his career at all, and never told anyone it would be his LAS ... right? So it goes on. And I saw one of Kiss's farewell tours. Okay, I saw a lot more than one. So when you hear me knocking on Kiss, it doesn't mean I didn't go see that show more than once. Like I said about crummy movies, it might be a horrible script, but if they're dropping $1 million a minute to blow something up in the background, old Rollen wants a front row seat. Let's keep going. This is for fun, so I hope we're ready to have a good time.
This has really brought it home to me. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to tour. I'm not going to see a lot of these people ever again. And so I'm soaking this right in. This is a real emotional experience for me. I'm having a great time. I really am.
Do you really mean you're not going to see them again? You are not going to tour again?
Well, I've said I won't. And I would like to keep my word.
Okay. Well, then you'd have to let me know, right? And if it was, just because, like I said, I get 2 dates here. I get a King of the Road 2003, and I get an upload at 2020, September. Holy shit! It's my brother's birthday. That's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Alan! Next year. So yeah. Just to be fair, I don't know. Was it it? Did he?
No one has ever attempted a tour on this scale before. 61 concerts in 27 towns, 6 months on the road. 2 massive 4,000-seat tents leapfrogging each other across Australia.
Oh, cool. Oh, double the rigs, double the crew, double the teams. So you can always go in, set up, sound check, I'm assuming, knock it out of the park, and then move on. Probably more rest time for the musicians, though, I would know. And I wonder how that works. I would have to go, I can check with it, and I don't mean this weird, but like a carny would know, too. Because it looks like, I mean, them you know, like circus tent style, big tents. I think that is cool. I mean, and I mean that, no mocking.
Of 100
cool.
On a $10 million music.
And that person climbing there, I know this about John, but so I side with the guy who has the riggers and the grips. And think about the person who runs wire all day. That person makes these shows happen. Oh, heck yeah. In case 60 Minutes, just in case. Band gets love. You know who doesn't ever get love? Did the hard working folks that set this stuff up. Right? I mean, I know I'm not making that up.
Musical juggernaut. It's an exhausting grind. They have just 2 days to set up to transform an empty tent into a state-of-the-art concert hall.
So this is my tent, Peter.
This is a tent.
This is a tent. This is serious camping trip, isn't it?
And you've got 2 of these.
Oh, man, I want to camp. No
big
kidding
trucks.
there. He ain't lying. That'd be a serious camping trip. You could unload the bus, throw the party, have the concert, and move on, and that.
Back. I actually wanted to call them 2 tents, but people didn't let me.
Glenn Wheatley is Farnham's manager and best mate.
I'm in the background, but I get as much of a thrill as John does in looking at what we created. And we can both say, we did this. I mean, it's an awesome feeling. And to get that response night after night from the audience, it's an aphrodisiac. And
It really is, actually.
If Farnham is having a midlife crisis, yearning for the quiet life, you could have fooled me. At 53, he's never been in better voice, and his fans can't get enough of him.
All right, I'm going to see where this goes quick.
But I've been given the opportunity.
I mean, I know. I understand creative writing when I hear it. Come on. Because he can't turn it off. I don't think he can. I don't even know how much of it's an act. If you look, so we've got to see, who knows? This is focusing on one tour. A reactor, even half-ass, excuse my language, picks up quite a bit along the way. I mean, I'm going back, right? How long did it take for you to but ask us to watch Sadie, right? And then the fun of all that up to Little River Band, to this, to now, to the last tour. Come on. Has there been a point? Does he fall flat? I'm just saying, if you're going to... I want to hear how he said that again.
If Farnham is having a midlife crisis, yearning for the quiet life, you could have fooled me.
Yeah, I'm going with creative writing. Nothing against 60 Minutes. But as a fan, who I would assume that's going to be the main core target audience of this episode that 60 Minutes run. Come on. You watched him, did it? If he had a midlife crisis, any of that, wanted quiet, it wouldn't matter. Will never affect his stage performance, right? The man owns the stage. He's been nothing but a consummate professional. I hope that's the right way to say that. And an all-around outgoing performer his whole time. Right? I had never seen no cheesy fake. Okay, the jokes and stuff aside, that doesn't even seem fake. It legitimately seems like he's that kind of guy. An honest, regular guy with rock star abilities, superstar pop abilities. Why do you think he's so loved? That's rare. It goes to their heads. It goes to their egos. This guy, it looks like he's just left it all on the stage.
At 53, he's never been in better voice, and his fans can't get enough of him.
But I've been given the opportunity to walk away from it at the best of times, at the top of my profession, you know. I want to walk away with a reputation intact rather than play to, you know, the crickets and the cleaners.
Oh, John is not going the way of Spinal Tap. Reactors and fans will make sure of that. I mean, I've learned enough there. Especially if the fans who interact with the reactors, and I'm not talking about myself. I am a limited appeal reactor, right? But there are tons of channels that if you can get them turned on to John, you could introduce him to the masses even more. He's already known, but you can have him live forever if you want, right? For the people who you know the package we're talking about, 60 Minutes makes that package really well. Very nice, top shelf.
He's outsold all other Australian artists in this country and played live to millions of us. For many, he's the Peter Pan of pop. The locks may be thinning, but to these fans,
Rollen has to watch this with Angie special. Rollen has to watch this with Angie special. Gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer until my honey. I'm gonna let it build up, and I'm gonna make her. I'm not gonna, in love and respect and care. Oh, sis. Thank you, sis.
he's still their golden boy.
Thank you, darling. Can you see the ball back on the business? Bastards!
Oh, right in front of the telly as well.
Oh, he's the man.
I love you, Joe! I love you too, mate.
You know, you go to all these other concerts and, they get out there, they do their bit and then they leave. I mean, you've seen it in there. He's letting people come up and touch him, shake.
We're going to go back for a second because, I mean, I know I'm nobody. Okay, I'm somebody to a few people, especially to our sis out there. So, love. Oh, she's adorable. I want to hear. Now you see the glow. Okay, there's a link down below. I got it screened because it's 60 minutes. I have no idea what's gonna happen here, but she knows. That's what I've been trying. I've been trying to say how she looks the whole time. That smile, those eyes. Yep. Yeah. So just saying this. I've only been trying to say this the whole time.
All these other concerts and, they get out there, they do their bit and then they leave. I mean, you've seen it in there. He's letting people come up and touch him, shake his hands, kissing them, giving him flowers.
And bras, would you give
No.
Draw the line.
Okay, not that. And look it. Oh my goodness, I did not pre-plan any of this, but and then the person I thought spoke even took the high road. Because you could do that other stuff, but we're going to hold that for Ange. So I'm going to I didn't hear anything right there either. I'm letting this all go, otherwise we'll never get done.
Drew the line and I gave my mother the big story before we came. No bras, no underwear.
What is it about him?
Once again, we're going to let that go, but we will be seeing this again. It will go over on Reaction Talk with Rollen and Ange. And oh, we're going to have fun.
But it makes you go back and back and back.
My wife.
Come on, do you like him?
Hey, he's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Is it his jokes, his sex appeal?
Oh, I'd just like to take him home.
Well, this is a man who has a bond, not so much with his audience, but with a nation.
How are you, mate?
No one is better.
Ah, and then there we go. Well, let's hear what he says.
Not so much with his audience, but with a nation.
How are you, mate?
No one is better able to explain the Farnham phenomenon than rock historian Glenn A. Baker.
The bond is extraordinary, and I think it comes down to the fact that it's the oft-used phrase with Farnham, what you see is what you get. There's a certain reliability. People go to a Farnham show knowing that he's going to be bloody funny, that the band is going to be crack hot, he is going to be in great voice.
Unfashionable but a favourite son at the same time. Is that a fair assessment?
That is, and in fact that is what worked for him, because when you are unfashionable, you never go out of fashion.
I don't know. I mean, I don't believe I don't believe I lifted this gentleman's opinion, but I mean, I can't see how his descriptions and everything I've said are different. I think it's a different way of phrasing it, but in the end, doesn't it mean about the same thing? Isn't it that same human appeal when he's saying out of fashion, in fashion, that whole part? Isn't it that true human appeal and approachability and real? And then the mixture of consummate professional, never able to turn it off on stage, only can give you back and channel what's sent to him, which is, we all got our ways of thinking and saying, but I can't believe I'm off any farther. What this guy said.
I'll get people, and they'll be down there, and they'll want to kiss from here. Now, physically, you cannot.
No.
It fascinates me.
And then they hold on to your hand and they
Yeah, and then try to pull me in, which is that's a bit disconcerting, I must admit.
Have they ever actually succeeded?
In the old days I used to get. No, they can't get me near him. Are you kidding? I'm rooted to the spot.
Because the consequences of that are actually great. As funny and cute as we could be. That's not the way you want, right? That's not the way you want to go out. And then I would venture to guess that John can read eyes pretty well. And the over-passionate, if we go back a little to the grounded passionate, right? There's a difference. I mean, I think we're all mature enough to admit that there is levels of fandom, right? Levels of fandom.
How do you reconcile that fact that you have women throwing bras and underpants? They want to shake your hand. They want to soak the sweat off your face.
Oh my!
Peter, it's not something I analyse really.
No, we don't want to analyze it because, unfortunately, it's too easy.
They want to soak the sweat off your face.
Peter, it's not something I analyse really and truly. I read a piece in a newspaper in Perth, and it fascinated me. It was a little dig. It was one of those digs, and it said, the bulk of the audience at the John Farnham concert were mainly middle-aged women. And I turned around and I said, of course they're bloody middle-aged women. I'm a middle-aged man.
Yep, and do not, dig. All right, I'm not making a pass because nobody gets me on my baby, right? Youth is wasted on the young, 100%, ladies. And you all know it. I know it. If the men want to argue in the comments, they just don't know it. And I am no expert, ladies. But men, man, we're good. We're good at the sprint, aren't we? And I'm pretty much lifting this from some other much better writer. But aren't you the long distance runners of the entire game? That little engine, and I mean no disrespect, I am not materializing you because you are the sum of many more parts. But I'll give it up right now because 53, all right? I would not trade it. I'd do a little more exercise, all right? That's about it. But I wouldn't trade it and go back because it was just not as good as the middle of the journey where I got it. I know something, I feel something, I can affect some sort of change. The loudest voices burn out the quickest. A little more staying power, a little more long distance running. And us guys that understand why, well, you know, I mentioned I worked the male strippers when I was a bartender. I know a lot of what John knows. I worked the bar. I can't tell you what tips I was offered, and I turned that down. That ain't my job. That was on the stage. I served you your drinks. But come on, it's the Tom Jones thing. It's that whole thing, because he's still's got that connection to a fire that burns hot. And I'm not mincing words, ladies. I'm not stupid.
You know, if I was 17, they'd be younger.
And that's about how old he was when this little number came out.
All right, before we get to Sadie, come on. This might be two parts. So he's also modest. Because I could go back and find the young ladies working it, and we won't get into that uncomfortable, right? But I certainly am worldly and maturely enough to know that it's not that just his fan base got older as he got older. His fan base continued to expand, and that weird mom and daughter combo both were willing to put a poster of him up on the wall. And that's real. Come on. I mean, if we're gonna play in the reality's ballpark, and I'm not touching all that other stuff with a 10-foot pole until we get to Ange, then yeah, there's some good modesty there by the man, because he's got sex appeal, because you don't have to be. Being real is very sexy, isn't it, ladies? I'm talking about John, not me. I'm really trying to talk about John.
If I was 17, they'd be younger.
And that's about how old he was when this little number came out. Sadie turned Farnham from plumber to pop star overnight.
That's it, I'm going to say Sadie Rollen. And it's going to drive you nuts, because it's going to be the last thing you hear. Drive you bloody crazy. And you'll be driving home and I go, oh, Sadie, bloody fun. Sadie, the queen little lady. Her aching knees not getting any younger.
The crowd demands it, and after 35 years, Farnham still delivers. But on this tour, there's a twist, a touch of history he shares with backup singer Danielle Gahan.
There were two women? No, girls. They were girls standing behind me, and one of them was Danny's mum, who was 4.5 months pregnant.
There it is. Oh, all right. It's come up in my head a few times, and if ever you go, hey, why does Rollen look like he's just drifting off into La La Land? I knew there was a connection, a mother-daughter connection within his ensemble, but I couldn't remember because if anybody watched the comments videos for earlier, and we'll wrap this up for part 1, finish it up with part 2, and I'll put them up together. I'm sorry if closed captioning won't be done till tomorrow. It is, it's 9, and we're going strong. Yeah, so I'd spent this one now. This will drive it home. Thanks, sis. And Ange is going to love this. She is. We're going to have so much fun with... Oh, shit, I'm going to cry. Oops, I'm sorry I cursed. I don't want to. Oh, crap. It's that middle-aged woman that I really love. Wow, crap. I miss my honey bunny. We'll be right back.